In 2018, James Clear published a book called Atomic Habits. It sold over 20 million copies, and most people who read it nodded along, felt inspired, and changed nothing. Because knowing what to do and actually doing it are two completely different brain processes. Today, I want to go deeper than the book. I want to show you the neuroscience behind why each lesson actually works, and share the 3 that personally changed my life, coming from someone with no psychology degree. Just real experience and a lot of reading. Let's go. Lesson 1. Small actions repeated daily shape your identity. James Clear calls this the aggregation of marginal gains. 1% better every day. Tiny improvements that compound over time. I call it better than nothing. And I mean that literally. When I was working 6 days a week at McDonald's, trying to build a better life, I didn't have time for big habits. I had maybe 10 minutes. So I did something for 10 minutes, every day. Not because 10 minutes changes your life overnight, but because 10 minutes done consistently beats 2 hours done occasionally, every single time. Here's the neuroscience behind why. Your brain builds neural pathways through repetition. Every time you repeat a behavior, the myelin sheath around that neural circuit thickens, making it faster, stronger, more automatic. 10 minutes every day for a year builds a stronger pathway than 2 hours once a week for the same period. Frequency beats duration, always. Your brain doesn't care how long you did something, it cares how often. Lesson 2. Your environment influences your behavior more than motivation. This one I learned the hard way. I used to keep my phone on my desk while I worked. I told myself I had enough willpower to ignore it. I didn't. Nobody does. And here's why. Your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for self-control, has a limited energy supply. Every time you resist checking your phone, you spend real cognitive resources your brain needs for actual work. Scientists call this ego depletion. The more you resist, the less willpower you have left for everything else. So, I stopped resisting. I moved the phone to another room. Not because I lacked discipline, because I understood that discipline is a finite resource, and my environment was draining it before I even started working. James Clear says, motivation is overrated. Environment is everything. Neuroscience agrees. Your brain responds automatically to visual cues in your environment. Phone visible, brain thinks about phone. Phone gone, brain thinks about what's in front of it. Design your environment for the behavior you want, and watch how much easier everything becomes. Lesson 3. Focus on systems, not goals. Goals tell you where you want to go. Systems get you there. The difference in your brain is significant. When you focus only on a goal, your brain is in a constant state of failure until the goal is achieved. You want to lose 10 pounds. Until you lose 10 pounds, your brain registers, not there yet, failing. That feeling of failing, even when you're making progress, depletes motivation. But when you focus on the system, showing up every day, doing the process, your brain gets small dopamine rewards constantly. Every time you follow the system, small win. Every small win, small dopamine release. Every dopamine release, motivation to continue. The system creates its own fuel. The goal just creates pressure. Lesson 4. Tiny improvements compound into massive results. Clear uses the famous example. 1% better every day for a year equals 37 times better. Mathematically, this is true. Neurologically, it's even more interesting. Your brain physically changes with each small improvement. New synaptic connections form. Existing pathways strengthen. The person you are after 1 year of tiny daily improvements is literally a different brain than the person who started. Not metaphorically different, structurally different. This is neuroplasticity in action. And it means no matter where you are starting from, your brain is capable of becoming something completely different, one tiny improvement at a time. Lesson 5. Consistency beats talent and intensity. Your brain doesn't reward talent, it rewards repetition. Talent is just a head start on building neural pathways, but consistent practice builds the same pathways, given enough time. This is why the most consistent person in any field almost always outperforms the most talented person who shows up inconsistently. Consistent signals tell your brain, this matters, prioritize this, get better at this. Inconsistent signals tell your brain, this is optional, don't invest too much here. Show up consistently, and your brain treats what you're doing as essential. Show up occasionally, and your brain treats it as a hobby. Lesson 6. Deep focus creates extraordinary results. Your brain has two modes. Focused mode, when you are working on one specific thing with full attention. Diffuse mode, when your mind wanders and makes unexpected connections. Both are essential, but most people in the modern world never achieve true focused mode because they are constantly interrupted. Notifications, messages, background noise. Each interruption costs your brain approximately 23 minutes to fully refocus. Which means if you check your phone every 20 minutes, you are never actually focusing. You are just moving between states of distraction. Deep focus, uninterrupted blocks of real attention, is where extraordinary results are created. And it is becoming increasingly rare, which means increasingly valuable. Lesson 7. Your mindset determines how you respond to failure. This one changed my life more than any other. When I moved to Canada, I failed constantly. Language barriers, rejected applications, jobs I couldn't get, skills that didn't transfer. Every failure could have been evidence that I didn't belong here, that I should give up, go back, accept the smaller life. Instead, I chose to see each failure as information, not about my worth, about what I needed to learn next. Here's the neuroscience behind why this matters so much. When you experience failure, your brain releases cortisol, the stress hormone. If you interpret failure as permanent and personal, cortisol stays elevated. And elevated cortisol literally shrinks your hippocampus over time, the part of your brain responsible for learning and memory. Chronic stress from failure actually makes you worse at learning from failure. But when you interpret failure as temporary and informational, cortisol drops faster. Your prefrontal cortex stays online, and your brain can actually process what went wrong and adjust. Your mindset is not just a psychological choice, it is a neurological one. Choose to see failure as feedback, and your brain physically learns faster. Lesson 8. Habits form through cues, routines, and rewards. Clear calls this the habit loop. Cue, routine, reward. Neuroscience calls it the basal ganglia, the part of your brain that automates repeated behaviors. Every habit you have, good or bad, lives in your basal ganglia. And it was formed through exactly this three-part loop. Something triggered the behavior. You performed the behavior. Your brain received a reward. Repeat enough times, and the behavior becomes automatic. You don't think about brushing your teeth, you just do it. That's your basal ganglia running an automated program. To build any new habit, you need all three parts. A clear cue that triggers the behavior. A routine that is easy enough to actually do. A reward that comes immediately after. Remove any one of the three, and the habit won't form. Lesson 9. What you pay attention to grows stronger. Your reticular activating system, the filter in your brain, shows you more of whatever you focus on. Focus on problems, your brain finds more problems. Focus on opportunity, your brain finds more opportunity. This is not positive thinking. This is literally how your brain's attention system works. What you repeatedly notice, your brain prioritizes showing you more of. Pay attention to what you want to grow. Lesson 10. Success comes from doing fewer things better. Your prefrontal cortex, the CEO of your brain, has a limited processing capacity. The more things you try to do simultaneously, the less cognitive resources each thing receives. Spreading attention across 10 priorities is neurologically identical to having no priorities. The most successful people don't do more. They do less, with complete focus. And their brain rewards that focus with deeper learning, stronger skills, and better results. 20 million people read Atomic Habits. Most changed nothing. Not because the book was wrong, because reading activates your brain differently than doing. Reading creates temporary neural activation. doing creates permanent neural pathways. The lessons in this book only work if you apply them, consistently, imperfectly, over time. I know because I lived them. From McDonald's to HR manager, from Russia to Canada with nothing, from surviving to building a life I actually love. Not because I was special, because I understood how my brain works and gave it the right inputs every single day. Subscribe. I share one brain science insight every week that will actually change how you think.